first try to define strategy, okay? Because I feel like a lot of us use that word loosely, but we don't really know what it means, okay? So strategy. In essence, in a simple term, it is how to get things done, okay? It's less specific than an action plan, okay? An action plan tells you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, But a good strategy will also contain barriers, obstacle, and all these things. Now, when I told you guys the story about myself, when I lost everything and I came back, thank God my parents recovered everything, we're good. But I remember one thing I didn't lose was my ability to see, right? When you go through life, you lose, it tries to take away your vision. Now, vision is not an idea. I know when you Google vision, it will come up with ideas, it will come up with imagination. But vision is your ability to see. The vision for you to see beyond. I love the thing this year, Beyond Hair 19. Absolutely love it. When I was preparing, I've known about this event since last year, and mentally I've been preparing beyond, and beyond hair. And I'm like, beyond this makeup, beyond this dress, beyond this heels, beyond you guys. You sitting here today is beyond you. It's beyond anything that you're ever going to imagine. You are not here by coincidence. You're not here because you bought the ticket. Something drove you here, right? There's something bigger than you that is in you, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, I like people to talk back to me so that I know you're following. So please, okay? All right, you might win something. I like to give presents, so guys better talk back to me. Okay, so vision is your ability to see, okay? Number one, strategy is, a plan. It's not an action plan, but it's also a plan, okay? It deals with the barriers. It deals with you understanding certain concepts, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But vision, okay? So vision is when you're driving, you may not see what is ahead of you, but you have an idea, you have a vision that there's something there. Does that make sense? So when you put on your red lights, is red lights? Everyone that drives red lights, right? Red lights. Come talk to me, guys. Thank you. Right? You see that you can see, you can't see what is there, but you trust that it's guiding you. Vision is that thing that leads you. It keeps you focused on the end game. Okay? So when challenges come, when things come, when family, you lose a boyfriend or you lose your girlfriend or something happens, you don't have money to fund your vision, right? You still stay with it. So today they asked me to speak about strategizing your vision, okay? And I don't really have much to say to you guys because I don't want to bore you with so many words. I just want you guys to take action. It's one thing to come to events like this, another thing to go home and implement, okay? So number one, see it clearly, okay? I always, at the beginning of the year when I was talking to people, I said, when you're planning 2019, if you can, take a day and just plan. People are like, how can I take a day just to plan? And you know what the popular saying that says, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And most people, that's why you go through the years and nothing really sticks. You can't really remember what 2015 was like. You can't really remember what 2016 was like or 2014 because you weren't intentional. You didn't take a hold of the year. You didn't say, this is what I want for the year. Okay? Now remember, vision isn't static. Okay? So when I was broke, I knew that I would one day have enough. I'd get a job, I'd finish school, and I'd be okay, right? And the fact that I saw that vision of myself being okay kept me going, okay? So you may not see the full picture, but try to picture it clearly. So I remember when my friends would be like, oh, I'm so bored, let's go and do this, let's go and do that. I would sit at home and I would watch things that would help me see clearly. So even though my current circumstances was clouding my ability to see, I would do things to instigate me to see properly. So try to see clearly. Try to have a vision for your life. So just have goal clarity, okay? All right. So number 2, believe in it passionately. Okay? Believe in what you want to do passionately. All right? Number 3, pursue it aggressively. Okay? All right. So vision paints the picture, passion fuels the fire, but action alone gives life to our goals. All right? So remember, we're talking about strategizing your vision, which in reality is bringing your vision to your reality. So if you have an idea here today, I want you, if you're making notes or you're making mental notes, I hope you're making notes because, you know, when you write, you remember, okay? I want you to think of obstacles that may come your way while you're trying to achieve something. So you say you want to be a president. Anyone would like to be a president in this room? Nice, I like that. You just straight up. Okay, it's very rare for women to say, oh yeah, they want to be presidents. Anyone would like to own their own company? All right, a lot of you. All right, so I want you guys to think of things that would hinder you from achieving that. And then come up with plans on how to combat those obstacles. Does that make sense? So in the workshop, I'm going to really break, I'm going to sit with everyone and really flesh out your idea and go through it properly. Okay? So, but to bring your vision to life, just in key points, because I know some of us work in key points. See clearly, believe in it passionately, pursue it aggressively. And then I'll say also have a laser focus. For your vision to become a reality, like Onyi said, you have to be married to the vision. Many things will come along the way. A few months ago, Tesco turned 100 years. Did we see that? Yeah. And I went and studied the case. I tried to do like a research on them, go through the years and see how Tesco got to where they are today, okay? And I saw that in the first few years, they just maintained the same thing consistently. A lot of us, we try to do too many things in one go, okay? So have a single focus. Don't be distracted. Distraction is the number one killer to you're bringing your vision to reality. Does that make sense? All right, it's not always that we need to do more, but rather we need to focus on less. Nathan Morris said that, not me. Okay, so it's very important that you have a goal. So once you've achieved one thing, then you can go and achieve the second thing. Does that make sense? So you know that you want to start a fashion business, or you want to start a hair company, or you want to start whatever you want to start. But you're like, oh, it's too saturated. Everybody and their auntie is selling hair and they're doing this and I don't want to do it. And I don't want to host another networking event because Onyi is already doing it. And I don't want to seem like I'm copying. Like that lovely lady in the short hair said, it's go and do it. Does that make sense? You have to believe in what you have. I don't know if you've seen that picture of Iceland or Tesco where there's like different slices of bread. Yeah. We've seen that. You see so many breads, but it's all gone. People are buying it. When you go to Tesco now, just pay attention to the slides of bread. You see different variety. And as simple as it is, that's just what it is. Now, am I saying that some business, you also have to know which businesses are viable and which businesses are sustainable, but there are certain businesses that it's a necessity. It's a necessity. This is a necessity. Does that make sense? Our natural hair is a necessity. How we maintain it is a necessity. So you may not be the one giving us this type of hair, but you can give us tools that will maintain our natural hair. Like this beautiful sister. Can you stand up for me, please? Can we clap for her, please? Alright, so she's got her hair. I'm going to use her as my little, please, thank you. I'll give you something for this. I don't know what I'm going to give you, but I'll find something for you. Okay. Alright, so this is her natural hair. Can you turn around for us? Can you just... Okay, nice, amazing. So, all right, you can see that her edges are slick, all right? She didn't do that by herself, right? That's a product, am I right? Okay, now there's something holding your head together, am I right? That's also a product, okay? So while we may be vying for this and this, we're forgetting the little things that are necessity. So you may not be called or you may not have the vision. Thank you so much. Can we clap for her? Okay, so you may not have the ability to do this or source from China or source from Istanbul, but you can do the little things in an excellent way. Does that make sense? You may not want to do women's thing because we are stressful people, but look at the lovely man sitting over there with his tie. You can create ties. You can resell ties. You can do things to further your life and bring something to life. But it starts with you having a vision of what you're trying to achieve. And then breaking that vision down into action points and into little points. And then tackling it as it goes along. Because when you try to achieve it all in one go, it's not going to work. I never thought that I would work with multinational companies like banks or hotels. I never thought that. But I knew that I was going to help brands and projects. So when I got my job and everything, and I always read into strategy. And people would always say, what is strategy anyway? Isn't it just like a business coach or something? You know, and in Nigeria, like everybody is a strategist. It's like, but why are you like so different? And I'm like, I don't really know, what is the secret, but I know it's the fact that I don't see things in a complicated way. I can go to the best business schools. I can go to Harvard, which I want to go to soon, right? But I'm not going to now start coming here and telling you things that my lecturer has told me, because it's not going to make sense to you guys. Even if it does, it's not going to get you to action, all right? So break down your vision into small bites. It's very important. Take a day out, plan. Get out of your usual environment. Have a thinking chair. Do something unusual. Come to events like this. Speak to business coaches. Invest in them. Number 2, be accountable. When Winnie was talking and she was giving on and she said, my business coach. And I was like, yay, I have a business coach. Even I have a strategist. Imagine a strategist having a strategist. And my strategist has a strategist. And his strategist has a strategist. And I'm sure as a business coach, you have your own business coach. You need to be accountable. You can't do it alone. Because when the life kicks in, when things get tough, you need people like Daniela, right? To say, you can do it. Don't forget that you need to hand this in by this day. Don't forget you need your business model. You need people like her to remind you that, there's this sponsorship for you to get funds in this place and that place. People that can see beyond you. We call it borrow belief. Okay? So when I am weak and my faith bank or my ability bank to see, a lot of us said we have anxiety, we get depression. I'm sure a lot of us know what that feels like. You've been sad at one point of your life. You've been traumatized at one point of your life. And when you go through these things, it hinders your abilities to see. Does that make sense? But when you have people like Daniela or Onyi telling you, come on, she's using her belief bank, you're borrowing it from her to allow you to step into action. So strategy is a complicated word. So my session today is to get you to reality. I love events like this because I can tell you guys that in bringing something to life, you really need to believe in you first. You really have to be your biggest cheerleader. Okay? You can have like I said, you have people in your corner, but I'm sure she would agree. Sometimes you can push a mentee or something, but if they don't want to do it, when people pay me for strategy sessions, sometimes I turn people away. I'm like, you don't seem like you're going to listen. And I literally, I've gone to the cash point and I've brought out their money back. And I'm like, take, I think we should end. And they're like, what do you mean? No, let's do it. No, I'll listen, I promise. And I'm like, I don't know. Because you will not pay now. And then you will not do anything on what I've said. And then 3 months later, you now say, I didn't really get anything from what she said to me. Because what? You did not do anything about it. Execute. Implement. It's not enough to write action plan and do business plans and come to events like this if you don't go home, sit down for 1 hour and write down everything and turn them into action points. So on Monday, what step are you going to take? Bonnie St. John started off with a disadvantage. She was broke. Her dad left the mom, so she was a part of a single parent family. Okay, the odds were against her, but she had an idea of where she wanted to go. Even when they said they will cut off her leg, she didn't allow that to stop her. So remember when I asked some of you who has ideas and is not doing anything about it, a lot of us put our hands. Who has ideas and stopped because of a situation? Some of us put our hands up. Does that make sense? So whatever stage you are, you're still going to have to take one step forward, okay? We're still going to have to make a decision to bring something to life. So yes, strategize. So come to my workshop, please, so that I can teach you how to strategize effectively, okay? But either workshop you go to today will help you. But the most important thing is action. When you leave here today, please, 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 execute. You know, some of you, you're distracted. You are caught up in the, surface. You need to move beyond the surface level. You need to step into substance. You need to remember that someone else somewhere is waiting on you to take your place, to do what you need to do, so that they can learn from you, so that they can get something you have to offer, so that one day I will have the courage to go natural, and so that I can wear my natural hair like this and embrace it. Because I find it to be a lot of work. You know, I guess it's my mindset that needs to change. But above all, have a different mindset. You know, because that's what's going to carry you through. Do you understand? That's what's going to encourage you. And as women, as black women, the world is for our taking. Look at this woman. Harvard, the White House, from someone that is disabled, you know, single parent. She's a black woman. She's highly respected. Does that make sense? You too can be that way. And I know this is more of me encouraging you guys, because if I talked all the complicated things, it would just be nice words. And then you guys, she spoke well. But then I just wanted this to be like, you can bring it to life if only you would do the work. Okay? Break it down into little pieces. Be futuristic. So what obstacles might come along the way if I want to implement this idea? Make room for that problem. Find solutions to the problem before the problem happens. Does that make sense? One of the problems I had when I was trying to branch out into Nigeria and focus on SMEs was I knew they were going to try and price me down. I knew they were going to try and say, but why is this thing so expensive now? Is it not just to strategize? Is it not just to help me? I knew they would say things like that because we're Nigerians. We like to price, right? I knew that people would say things like, what is she doing that's making people fly all the way from Nigeria to come and sit down with her for 2 hours? What is it? I knew people would say that. So I made up my mind that I was going to have thick skin. I work with a lot of social media influencers, not a lot. We know talking about right? So whatever Talkhead does, I feel like some people are like, oh, maybe Florence is like that. You know, so I knew people would say that. I knew people can't understand the fact that someone could be principled, valued and everything, and work with people that they may not necessarily agree with on certain things. Does that make sense? I knew I would work with the likes of good hair, and you know, people would say, oh, but their hair is too expensive. But you know, just things like that. You know, I know people would say, oh, how did she get that New Zealand gig? Do you know, maybe people would make remarks. So I decided in my mind that I wouldn't let what was going on around me affect what was inside of me. I decided that I was going to be focused, that I was going to see the vision, stay married to the vision, stay committed to the vision, no matter what came my way. I wanted you guys to watch that video so you could see that you're not the only one going through things. So when you go through things, it doesn't mean I'm an advocate for taking breaks, okay? So book that trip to Paris, go to Bali, go to Portugal, enjoy yourself. But remember, you carry something. There's something locked inside of you that if you do not spend time working on, right, researching on, a lot of us, we step into visions prematurely. That's why it doesn't work. Does that make sense? Because we're so eager to tension them. Me too, I want to do something in 2019. Do you understand? I must do something in 2019. And while that is true, remember that they have probably been incubating for years. So don't compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 20. A lot of people come and ask me, Florence, some people say, where did this girl come from anyway? And I'm like, excuse me. I've been in business for 7 years. It may not count for much for you, but I know what I've had to go through to get the experiences, the qualifications that I have today. So I will not let you or anybody else downgrade what is inside of me. So even when people don't believe in you, because some of us, it's because we don't get enough likes on Instagram that we stop posting. I'm sorry. Why? Oh, they're not liking my post, so I stopped posting. Are you serious?
Tell us, please.
Did your life start on Instagram? Will it end on Instagram? Do you understand? So believe in yourself. I know it sounds like I'm telling you guys off. I'm sure maybe Daniela will come and, she'll rein all of us in, right? But I just want you guys to know that you can do it, right? You can bring your ideas to reality.